Here in Lloydminster, the Heavy Oil Show started off Wednesday's activities with a lunch and a surprise guest. Arian Tidswell went down to take it all in.
After hearing Premier Scott Moe speak the night before, the attendees were delighted to hear Premier Jason Kenney Wednesday morning.
We need to come to the aid of our friends in Europe and people all around the world who are facing a bleak future of energy and food scarcity while we have ample food and energy in this country. So together, let's get it done. Thank you. God bless.
The two premiers were not the only government officials in attendance. Saskatchewan's energy minister spoke to us about his connection to the border city.
It's a great community. I have family here. It's great to be here, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the show.
After hearing from government officials over lunch, it was time to get out and hear from some exhibitors.
We certainly have a presence here in the area with our product and with our customers, and we just want to build that, nurture that, and build more on it, and make a bigger impact, and certainly give back to the community. It's nice. It's really nice to see that industry's coming back and people are out and about doing these shows. So we want to be a big part of it.
The biggest surprise to me was all the new local technologies being introduced to the industry, like these.
Peregrine VR Glove is a smart glove that detects your touches and turns those into standard system actions in virtual reality.
Upstream data, we pretty much focus on converting wasted natural gas to Bitcoin. So we build Bitcoin lines, deploy them on oil and gas properties that can't sell their gas, and convert it to Bitcoin and then pay the producer.
The energy of the event was high, with so many people eager to network and learn with their industry partners. Ian Tidswell, PTLN News.
Cadillac showcased a new vehicle in Lloydminster today. The 2023 all-electric Cadillac Lyric was displayed out front of Ulmer Chevrolet. It's part of a cross-country tour to showcase the electric SUV. Customers stopping by are able to see the new Cadillac up close and personal. Staff also gave a short presentation on some of the features. The vehicle has 3 charging options, 120 volt, 240 volt, and the DC fast charge that's estimated to have 122 kilometers of range after 10 minutes of charging time.
They're looking at the infrastructure and changing what they're doing to combat that and give back to the grid as well, which they're going to come out with later. But yeah, I think people are going to see it. I mean, it's not for everyone, but I think for, you know, the average family running to get groceries every day, things like that, it definitely has a use.
Another Cadillac was on display as well, a 1930 Cadillac Limousine Deluxe. It's one of only 2 known to have been built. The vehicle arrived in Canada before World War II in 1939.
We just thought it would be cool to show what the old Cadillac luxury was like, and of course show what the new luxury is all about as well.
And now it's time for our first check-in with weather. Here's Shelby Clark.
Mr. Jason Mackey. Yes, now taking a first look at your weather forecast here in the border city. We are seeing another beautiful day. We are sitting at 19. It was seeing just above that 20 point throughout the day, but now we are just sitting at this mark, and we are still seeing that mixture of some sun and cloud. And if you're outside, you did notice that sun was peeking behind those clouds a lot through the day. So we have been seeing a beautiful day for sure as we head more into the fall season, which I think everybody is enjoying. Switching now to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, most spots are still seeing the same conditions as what we were looking at yesterday. Most spots now are just at that 19 and 20 degree point. Over in Vegreville and Edmonton, they are seeing the warmest with that 21. And switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are looking the same as well. Some spots slightly cooler compared to the Alberta side, but not by much, especially down in Macklin, the only one just seeing that 18 over with Marwayne as well. So not too bad with a couple degrees cooler, still looking quite warm. More 19 to 21 degrees over on this end, while most spots are just seeing 19, especially for Maidstone and North Battleford, just seeing that. And for North Battleford, from that 19, they will be going down to low of that 7. So we will be seeing these single digits temperatures continue on for our evening lows. Then tomorrow, they will be experiencing that 21 throughout the day with a mixture of some sun and cloud. Cold Lake will be going down to that low of 7 as well. Most spots will be kind of seeing around that same temperature for tonight. Then Cold Lake will be seeing 21 tomorrow and seeing a little bit more cloud coverage than what they have been seeing today. And for us here in the border city, we will be going down to that low of 8, so warming up slightly for our evening low temperature, although we will be seeing a higher chance of that precipitation later on in the evening. So just be on the lookout for that. We might see a slight drizzle, and then tomorrow we will be looking at 20 once again throughout the day, and we will be seeing a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds. So we got some beautiful days ahead here for the weekend. And now looking at one of your photo submissions to our Facebook page for our fishing contest. Thank you, Ashley. This is a nice shot. I absolutely love to see it. Look at the size of that fish. Really great to see everyone that had some great fishing experiences out there. And just want to add in again about our fishing contest. Make sure to go to our Facebook page and submit a nice weather photo or a fishing photo like you just saw. You can win a Shakespeare fishing rod with a Catch fishing book. So just make sure to submit, because we will be choosing a winner at the end of this week. That's all I have for now. A little more coming up after the break.
Welcome back to the show. The Lloydminster Stockade takes place in the first week of November, and entries have opened for those who are looking to compete in one of the premier cattle shows in both Alberta and Saskatchewan. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
Today we have Gord King, the chairman of the Stockade Roundup, and he is here to talk to us today about entries opening up, as well as their judges that are going to be judging the various events at the Stockade Roundup. So thank you so much for being with us today, Gord.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about why entries are opening up so early here, and then your guys' decision to cap the entries at 500 this year.
So the last few years, we've sold out and there's been no space left, and we can hold a maximum of 500 head is what we can hold in this facility at the Lloyd X. So that's why we cap it out at 500 head. And usually we get a few scratches, so we take that into consideration as well. The reason we open entries up so early is so that people can get their entries in, and then we can, I guess, be able to work around it and place animals where they need to be, and for the barn situation and the stalling and everything. So, because once we know how many numbers are coming, then it's easier to plan the event. So that's why entries will close at the end of the month, and we'll have a better understanding where we're sitting at for numbers, and if we're going to have a waiting list, and if people have to cancel, and then we can call the people on the waiting list. So that's the way it's been for as long as I've been a part of the Stockade Roundup committee. So
you guys on Facebook did announce your 3 judges for the event. So tell me kind of why you guys selected those judges, and then a little bit about each of the competitions that the 3 judges will be judging throughout the weekend.
This year we got 3 judges for our main breeds and our Lloyd X Junior show. So our main breeds, one of the main breed judges is going to be Katie Songer, which will be doing the Herefords, the Charolais, the Simmentals, and the Red Angus on Thursday. And then Craig Wielenbosch will be doing our all other breeds, which is new this year, our Shorthorn, Speckle Park, Limousine, Black Angus, and also the Prospect Steer and Heifer show. And Kelly Fig will be doing our Lloyd X Junior show this year.
You guys have, as you just mentioned, added the AOB division. Tell me a little bit about what the AOB division is for those who are not aware, and as well, tell me about some of the other events that you guys will be running alongside the junior show, such as the Prospect show and the Jackpot show that you guys run on Wednesday.
So on Tuesday night, we'll start off with the Princess of the Prairies Heifer Jackpot show, Bred Heifer Jackpot show. And then Wednesday night will be the Lloyd X Junior show and Stockade Lady. And then Thursday night, we have our King of the Ring show. And then Friday will be the Supreme show as well, where we take all the champions of all the breeds. And that'll be in our Supreme show for our Supreme champion, which there's a social after that as well. And then all other breeds is new this year. Edmonton, Regina, they're doing an all other breeds show now as well. And what it is, it gives people that if we can't have 15 head and 3 exhibitors for a breed show, but we have 4 or 5 of one breed and 4 or 5 of another breed, and 4 or 5 of another breed, we could put them in an all other breed show. So like if you had your Maines and Longhorns and stuff like that, we can have a class for them, right? So gives more people with smaller breeds out there that hard to get animals to come and show, gives them an opportunity to still market their cattle.
So with the move of the junior show to Wednesday, you guys now will be finishing up on Friday. Is there any particular reason the move of the junior show? And
we still have the Sask Angus Junior Show on Saturday. So on Saturday will be our Sask Junior Day, is what we're calling it this year. We used to have the Prospect Steer, then the Lloyd X Junior Show on the Saturday as well. But we've had some free space here in the last few years, time management and everything. So we thought we'd switch it up. Last year, we put the junior show on Thursday and the Prospect Steer and Sask Junior Day on Saturday. This year, we decided to switch things up again, put the Lloyd Junior Show on the Wednesday and the Prospect Steer and Heifer Show on the Thursday. And then Saturday is an all-day Sask Angus Junior event.
thank you for all the information, Gord, and we certainly look forward to November when the Lloyd X Stockade comes to our very own Lloyd X. And so once again, thank you for all the information.
Thank you. I would like to say big thanks all to my committee members. Without them, we wouldn't be able to put this show on. So.
And now let's take a look at today's agriculture prices. While it has been a disappointing season for the Edmonton Elks, they have something positive to look forward to after awarding a new contract to their quarterback. Taylor Cornelius signed a 2-year extension with the Elks yesterday that will go through the 2024 season. The Texas native has thrown over 1,900 yards so far this season with 8 touchdowns to throw for. Cornelius also has 5 rushing TDs and leads the Elks with 291 yards rushing. He is just one of 3 players in the CFL this season that has at least 5 passing and rushing touchdowns each. The Elks face the Saskatchewan Roughriders this Friday at Mosaic Stadium. And now as we head to break, it's time to take a look at your Pet of the Day photo submissions. To take part in the contest, you can head on over to our Facebook page, post a photo of your pet and their name for a chance to win a gift card from the Pet Pad. Good luck, everyone.
See your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for being here to talk about the library's Dungeons and Dragons program.
Absolutely. We're actually really excited to get it going and really excited to kind of get the word out there and sort of get more people involved in it.
So how many people are allowed to participate in the program?
A group of 8 at any given time is sort of the maximum that we can handle right now. That's a combination of both the Dungeon Master's preference, because when you get more than that, it gets pretty chaotic and the games get harder to sort of parse how long it's going to take.
What age group is the program for?
The age range we're looking at is 13 plus. And that's sort of primarily there needs to be a certain level of sort of being willing to accept that bad things are going to happen if you're going to get involved in Dungeons and Dragons. So 13 was kind of the place where we were like, let's see how that age range goes. And definitely wanting to engage more with that, with teens, and bring a lot of them in was really important to us when working on it. But we absolutely wanted adults to come and welcomed that, so that there was a lot of sort of intergenerational interaction going on. And during our test run that we did in the library, which was primarily library staff and then their families, we had people all the way from 13 up to seniors that were participating in it. And some of them had never experienced Dungeons and Dragons before, didn't really know what it was about, and everyone sort of collectively had a good time and learned a lot. And having a really varied age range sort of brought a lot of different perspectives to it and made it probably a lot more interesting than your average game would be if everyone was sort of in the same range.
Do you mind talking a bit about what Dungeons and Dragons exactly is?
So Dungeons and Dragons was initially created around the 70s, kind of based on tabletop war games that were a thing around the time. And the thing about Dungeons and Dragons is it's designed to be more of a cooperative experience as opposed to a competitive experience. So when you go into it, you're going into it with a group, and you sort of have, while each individual character, just like each individual person, is going to have their own goals that they're kind of looking for, you're going to have an overall goal that everyone sort of moves towards together. So like it might be during our test run, it was we were clearing some rats out of an old house.
So is there going to be like a different campaign for each session or the same one throughout?
My past experience with Dungeons and Dragons, it's always been sort of really long story arcs, really elongated campaigns that you sort of follow with the same people every week or however often you're meeting. This particular case, it's designed specifically to be drop-in friendly. So people that keep coming, they still get the opportunity to level up their characters and sort of see an overarching theme, even if it's not necessarily a story, but it is very drop-in friendly as well. So if someone can only come, say, once a month, once even every other month, they're still going to get sort of the same level experience because it's already designed kind of in an insular, each individual session is its own unique thing.
Has there been a ton of enthusiasm about this new program so far?
I don't think I've ever seen a program so far out fill up so quickly here. And there, we have run programs that are a much smaller scale that only require, 4 to 8 people before, and people are still asking questions. People are still really into it. So we're definitely hoping that we can find a way to either run another session or expand on what we're offering right now. If it continues to be this popular, we're definitely going to try to find a way to keep the momentum going and keep people coming in for it.
Thank you again so much for being here today. It was great having you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we, with Cheryl starting as our new director, we've already had a couple talks about some programming stuff that we're going to have launching in the fall. So if you aren't already following us on Facebook or Instagram, I definitely suggest that, because everything that launches, that's kind of going to be our launch pad for where you're going to want basic information on it.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Josh Sahunta, an artist, and we are speaking on your album, Melodrama, and among other things. So thank you so much for joining us today, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm really glad you're able to join us today, Josh, because, this is an interesting idea, and I really wanted to help spread out the word. But this is the Play the Parks concert series, and this is by TD Canada and CMI that showcases culturally diverse artists and everybody around Canada, of course, with also the LGBTQ community. So I'm really glad we're able to speak about this. Now, can we kind of start off before, talking about your album, and you kind of explain what Play the Parks concert series is?
Yeah, so actually the first year we did it was last year, and actually it was online last year, given that we were kind of in the heat of the lockdown. And so this year I think they're kind of bringing it back out into the public so that artists like myself can go back into their communities and start playing music again live. So it's just a really amazing opportunity for us. Obviously having the backing of TD is great too, just for the reach across Canada. They're doing this across the country, right? So there's parks all over the country that are going to have some really cool concerts, and I'm really excited to be playing the Edmonton one.
And for the fact, this is still pretty fresh and it's still new and it's only the second year you were saying. So, do you know exactly how this idea started to have this series and what really inspired to be able to showcase so many artists around Canada?
Yeah, I honestly I think it was just due to the lack of opportunity during the pandemic, especially for musicians. We kind of thrive on performing and putting on concerts for people. And so during the 2.5 years, I guess, of the pandemic where we really couldn't go out and do that and play shows, I think CMI and TD both kind of just put their heads together and said, how can we give opportunities to musicians right now to be able to perform and still share their music? And yeah, I guess they just wanted to continue with it, and this year they're doing it literally live, which is awesome because I did last year's from this room. So it's going to be really nice to actually go and to play to an audience and actually interact with people.
And with it being online last year, how was that support still with it only being online, not really being able to perform in person?
Definitely, yeah, like, I think, especially for me, like, I didn't really play any shows, last year, and so, all the people who would have come to my shows in person definitely showed up and supported online, and I saw the same thing for a lot of musicians that I know who also played it last year as well. Um, just kind of it formed like an online community around it, and people were like, watching from their home comfort of their own homes with popcorn and stuff like that. So it was definitely cool, but I'm definitely not going to miss having to only play concerts online.
Well, it sounds like it's already going to be a great experience for you. All you artists that are able to perform this year, instead of having to do it over your phone or on your computer, like you're saying, like at your home. So, really glad that it's going to be able to be in person. And are you already seeing some good response and support so far for the summer?
Absolutely, yeah. So I've been very busy this summer. I've been playing kind of all the university welcome weeks, and there's a few festivals. I actually got to play on the main stage at the Calgary Stampede this year, which was really cool. And then, of course, leading up to the Play the Parks, there's a lot of buzz and excitement about it. It's getting media attention, so it should be really great. It should be great, and I'm very excited to be playing it.
Well, Josh, I already know you're going to get that great support in Edmonton. They really know how to show out to those performances. So I think it's going to be a great time. Now, onto your album, with melodrama. What exactly is it all about, just for people to know about and can expect?
Yeah, so this album, Melodrama, just came out this past summer. It's so sad to say past summer now as we're moving through it now, but yeah, it's a project that I've been working on essentially through the entire course of the pandemic. I originally wanted to just release a series of EPs, so 3 songs at a time, but because things happened the way they did, I decided, you know what, I'll just start compiling these songs, picking the ones that work the best for the idea that I wanted. And ultimately, I just ended up putting out an album, which I released kind of as lockdown ended, I should say. And I was able to get vinyl records and CDs and like new hoodies and crew necks and T-shirts and all these things. So I kind of made it like a big thing, and I'm so glad I did that because it's been a long time since myself and other artists I know have been able to like put out a full body of work and things like that. So yeah, it's something I'm so excited about. These are the best songs I've ever put out, and I'm just so excited for people to hear it both on streaming and at the concerts.
Oh, awesome. And for people that may not have heard of the Play the Park series, since it is still quite fresh with it being online last year and now in person this year, where can they find more information online and just catch you performing and I guess also be able to find out about your album?
Totally, yeah. So I mean, you can find all my music. The best place probably to follow me would just be Instagram. I post everything on there, music videos, links to concerts, et cetera, et cetera. For the Play the Park specifically, you can check out TD Canada, and then CMI Canada's Music Incubator. Everybody's posting about this right now because it is going to be going on for the next few weeks. So yeah, there's tons of places where you can get more info, but for me, I'd say Instagram is probably the best place to go.
Amazing. Well, hopefully all you artists catch some good support around the country, of course, like you're saying, going to all these different cities. I'm really glad we're able to help get the word out there. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, that's all the time we have for our first hour of Primetime Local News, but stick around, our second hour continues next.